Now. All right, we are live on YouTube. Good morning for Tuesday Morning with Friends, and welcome everybody. We are reading True Empathy from A Course in Miracles, and uh, I just think we are going to start right here on paragraph 3. Even though I know we've read this, I think we've read this before. Doesn't matter to me because this is what I want to read. I like that. Being in charge. Anyway, okay. All right. And I'm going to read this and then we'll talk. Um, and I hope everyone is still here with us. We're doing good. All right. So, uh, this is chapter 16, The Forgiveness of Illusions, section 1, True Empathy, paragraph 3. Jesus says, "Your only part is to remember is your part is only to remember this." Let me get these words straight. Your part is only to remember this. You do not want anything you value to come of a relationship. You choose neither to hurt it nor heal it in your own way. You do not know what healing is. All you have learned of empathy is from the past, and there is nothing from the past that you would share, for there is nothing from the past that you would keep. Do not use empathy to make the past real and so perpetuate it. Step gently aside and let healing be done for you. Keep but one thought in mind and do not lose sight of it. However tempted you may be to judge any situation and to determine your response by judging it, focus your mind only on this: I am alone, and I would not intrude the past upon my guest. I have invited him, and he is here. I need do nothing except not to interfere. So I would love to hear what anybody has thoughts about this. I know we read last week because I remember seeing when I saw that word interfere, I recognized it really was saying enter, enter, fear, fear. So I'm alone, and I would not intrude the past upon my guest. Now, who is my guest? It's the Christ that's in my brother who's right here with me. So, um, not to not to um, bring up the things from the past to make the past real, not to bring up the stories that I have about the brother. There's nothing from the past that I would share. So if I'm joining with my brother in this moment now, then I need to just step aside and let healing be done for me, but keep this one thought in my mind: I'm not alone. I would not intrude the past upon my guest, which means when I'm with my brother, whatever I'm with anybody, I'm not going to hold the past on him. He may have killed my brother. He may have, raped me. He may have, taken away my, birthday. It doesn't matter. That's the past, over, done. I'm not alone. I won't keep the past in my mind about this person because I'm joining with the Christ in this person, not with the ego personality. I have invited him and he is here. I need do nothing except not to interfere. Just let things be the way they are and not be thinking about, the past, of course, not thinking about the future, not imagining a story, not imagining anything, um, just letting go of the belief, the story that I had about anything and everyone. And if I could only see my brother as he is now, then I would be in where? The holy instant. And I would be having what? a holy encounter. Uh, if I saw that every time I met anybody, it is a holy encounter. So letting go is really uh, the way to deal with everyone. Letting go of the past. Forget about the past. Does anybody have any thoughts about this or any other way of looking at it? About where he says, your part is only to remember this. You do not want anything you value to come of a relationship. You choose neither to hurt it nor heal it in your own way. You do not know what healing is. All you know is of the past. So there's nothing from the past that you would share. I mean, really, the whole idea that the past is the thing that's forming um, my thinking. Marcy, yes, please go ahead.
I was just saying the past is, I mean, none of it is real. I made it all out. I make up my past and my present, and I imagine the future when I'm an ego.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, when I'm not in time, and I can you can meet anybody in this moment. You can meet, like I said, it could be, the person you hate the most in the world, the person you're most afraid of. It could be the person you love the most in the world. That too is a person you're most afraid of. Because any relationship between egos is going to be based on fear. It's not going to be based on love. The ego can't have a loving relationship. Because it doesn't know what love is. Marcy.
Oh, I was just gonna say, a friend of mine asked me for a contact, and I also see that contact, and I'm like, you know what? You got to look up your own, because the problem is she's already got somebody she's working with, and the issue at hand in form is not wanting to go to a particular 12-step group. And I'm like, well, you already have your answer. So why would you ask me for somebody else to try to give you the same answer? Because that's what's going to happen. It doesn't matter which 12-step group, it could be any of them. So I'm projecting into the future how much she hates me now, because I just said, you've seen people and they've all said the same thing to you. This is what's next. And she said, well, I don't want to have anything to do with God. And I was like, well, you could just do grant me the serenity and skip the God part, but eventually you have to give it up to something other than you. It doesn't have, I don't care what you call it. You could call it tree, grant me this, it was just goofy. So I'm happy that I'm in the moment here, but I still kind of flip back and forth, like, oh, I wonder if I'm going to talk to her today, or I wonder if I pissed her off, because I don't want to share the same, I mean, I don't want to. She's already got somebody. They told her what they believe. And I think anybody would say the same thing. So I just said, well, you could go online and find somebody easy enough. So just do that if you want to keep searching for whatever that is. And she's very into philosophy, and I've said, like, oh, maybe we could just read some of the course together. And of course she's not going to do that right now, maybe someday. But and it doesn't matter to me one way or the other, but she gets it, but she doesn't want to have anything to do with it. So
Yeah, yeah, I know how that is. Um,
but I am projecting her. I'm aware that I'm projecting what I doubt that. In my ego, I doubt that she's going to come to me and say, oh, thank you so much. I will go back to that person. I will, because I've just said, I'll sit there with you during a 12-step group. I'd love to sit there. But so I'm not so concerned about how she healed, because we're all already healed. but I am thinking about what my relationship is. And my speech therapist yesterday said, "Hey, you got to break up with that girl." Like, oh, yeah, I know.
Oh man.
But yeah,
Uh,
and I don't really have to break up with her, but I just have to see everything differently.
right, because it's me who's seeing.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it has nothing to do with anybody else.
Right.
So they could be agreeing or disagreeing or having any, and if you're in this place where none of that has any real meaning to you, what does it matter?
Right.
You know?
Right.
They can be telling you the sky is yellow and birds are bears, or they could be
Hmm.
telling you anything, and you're not going to get upset about it because that it's not the truth.
Yeah.
There's nothing anybody can do to change the truth. Just because they have a different opinion, it's not going to
Right.
change what's real.
Right.
Oh my gosh. And you know what, Marcy, I can guarantee you absolutely without a doubt in my mind that if you were actually really able to look at that situation that you just mentioned and forgive it
Hmm.
with the Holy Spirit, that your prediction of what that person is going to do or not, that person is going to forget all about it.
Yeah, of
It's not going to
course.
be a thing anymore because it's all about me. So, it's whatever I'm
Right.
I
Right.
need. So, but if you haven't forgiven it, you'll hear about it again
Hmm.
because that's just the way it works.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. And Cindy is saying when somebody acts foolishly, do it anyway. Yeah, yeah, just do whatever because it doesn't matter.
Right.
None of it matters. So yeah.
Yeah, I
If
was going to say, not only does Jesus say that, but even Mother Teresa has a quote, saying people will do this or that to you. And the way she put it was love them anyway.
love them anyway. That's
So
right.
kind of doing it, saying the same thing. But so anyway, and now I forgot what I was going to say anyway. Boy, my memory. Yeah. I think a baby boomer thing, huh? I mean, everybody I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Join the club.
That's pretty funny. You know what? No, I'll tell you what it is. You'll remember what's important and you won't remember what's not important.
Yeah.
So that my mother taught me that if I was started to say something and forgot what I was going to say, or she starts to say something and forgot what she was going to say, she would always say it must not have been important, or I would have remembered it. And it's true.
So I want to go back to what you guys were saying about the slapstick stuff or making fun of each other. Really, it's such a prominent thing in society because the ego really thrives on division and judgment. And that's just one of the avenues where it just can take over the mindset of everybody. So I wanted to throw that out there, but I didn't want to get off the subject.
Oh no, I think that's really right on there. And thinking about it, when we look at these things that we laugh about as a culture, um,
Yeah, as a culture.
it really is. We are really, uh, you know, I think about movies like the those Chevy Chase movies about the vacation, family
Oh,
vacation.
yeah.
Those are horrible. There are people in horrible situations that are making stupid decisions and putting themselves and other people in stupid positions. It's like, I can't stand to watch them. It just makes me sick.
I agree with you. Yeah.
But a lot of people think they're the funniest things that ever were. Why is that? And I'm not saying anything wrong with those people. I'm just, recognizing that there's nothing funny about people in trouble. I mean,
You're right. And
they're,
we're trained to think like that
yeah,
from early childhood on. And then I go, no wonder, the course is, he goes to great lengths in explaining the ego because it's it's so insidiously oh, what's the word? Embedded in our in the way we think. That
Yeah.
it has to be explained in numerous ways for the individual ego to maybe get a clue, because we're all the same, but we all think, we all have our own individual histories of what makes us the ego, right? So anyway, I just um, wanted to throw that out there again.
Thank you,
I don't know where
Cindy.
I go with all this, but anyway, I'm concluded.
Yeah. Well, and it's only with looking at these things that we're actually going to see them. And so, that's when a lot of times people will say, well, why do you get into, looking at this so deeply,
Yeah,
just forget about it. Well, because, forgetting, that's what I've been doing is forgetting about it. And that's why I'm so deeply caught up in these crazy stories. I want to know when my mind is going off into some kind of crazy place, and so that I can, stop and
yeah, yeah.
ask to see it differently.
And that's, I think, the hardest thing as humans to do is to get a clue that, oh, I'm the one doing that. That horrible thing that I'm putting on my brother. I'm the one that actually thinking that thought. For me, anyway, it's um, been very hard to admit to, and see the ugliness and the hatred and all that's within me, and the dissociation that you guys were talking about earlier. um, I had when my husband died, we had this beautiful lived in this beautiful RV trailer. Actually, it was like a showcase, and I the devastation that I felt because he kind of was did everything for me. I completely left that in a storage, and had completely and every all my best possessions or whatever you want, yeah, were in there, and I completely forgot about it until my daughter brought it up a month later or 2 months later. So to me that and I chose, here's the crazy part is I didn't really know how or what or who to ask to help me figure this stuff out. I didn't have anybody helping me, anybody that had their shit together. And because I certainly didn't. And I chose to disassociate my disassociation, if you know what I mean. I,
Hmm.
I double whammied myself and I forgot about it again. And anyway, it's very mind boggling to me that that happened to me. So I just wanted to, and it's coming up for me again. Um, I'm starting, because I had to, too much time went by where I don't even think that I want to deal with it. And people, say, well, you can just go, can we just, if it's still there, even, can we, what can we settle on? That's, but I'm still so frightened of my embarrassment and my shame that I can't even do that yet. But at least I can talk about it now. But anyway, it's very mind boggling that I could let go of just about everything I had and uh, go on somehow. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, thank you for listening to that. I know it's personal or whatever, but anyway.
Oh no, people who are in shock tend to do that. And that I think the thing to really understand about all of that is, um, it has, you're not limited to what you have in that RV, or the RV. Obviously, you've been living without that stuff for how long?
Yeah,
Uh, and how many treasures have we left along the way? How many things, I know when I was a kid, I've talked about this before, that my stepdad was kind of a crook. Apparently, I have no idea what he did. I really honestly had no idea. But there were times when he would just, come home in the middle of the night and just say, pack up what you can in the car, take what you want, and we're out of here. And we would just leave. and go to a whole nother town, a whole nother place. I have no idea why and whatever I couldn't pick up and take in the car with me was left. And my mother would mourned for years about things that she left behind, my antique coffee grinder, my this, my that, that we left behind, my toys, my I dreamed about toys that I had left behind because
Yeah.
I wasn't able to take them. And even as an adult, I found myself going on like eBay looking for these toys,
Oh
looking
my
for
God, I
these
went to that
things.
too.
Yeah, yeah, things that I lost during that time, and finally came to realize that I always have them. They're in where they always were in my mind. They
Yeah.
were never anywhere other than in my mind.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
great realization for me to come to that because I'm living without it now and I'm perfectly happy. And the memories that I have now are not sad memories of I lost that thing, but they're actually wonderful memories of the thing that I had. And
Thank, thank you for that, Lynn. Thank you. That helps.
yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
really. I don't want to get too far off subject for because
no, but yeah, I know that, someone came into that house and took all that stuff out of there, maybe sold it, maybe threw it away. I don't know. It's gone. But it's still in me. I still have it and I'm living without it. So, but it would be, now that you're thinking about it, check into it. Don't be afraid. What are they going to say to you?
well, that's the issue that I think is the real issue is exactly that. It's not. It's more now. Now the lesson for me, I'm going. You just have to find enough within your true self to feel uh, um, not obligated, but worthy of stepping up and saying, hey, what's going on? Can we make it? Can we settle on something if there's anything left? I should
Right.
feel. That's really now for me what the issue is anyway. So
Yeah, and again, when we still have that, because we're in fear, we think that we're not worthy, and think that there's there even imagining what somebody's going to say to you or
yeah, exactly.
yeah, they do,
It's the
and they
shame and
do,
embarrassment that I don't want to feel.
right,
But I'm feeling it now. So the only way to really deal with it is to face it and just okay, so it's gone. It's been gone through, or the man is gonna say, "Are you ridiculous, lady?" I mean, that's really all he can say, right? And that's
right. What
and
what
that
is he going to say? Oh, I'm going to come get you now and throw you in a prison for having. No, he's not. There's nothing going to happen to you that hasn't
exactly.
already happened. It's over.
And those are my wild imaginings of the ego. That's
Yeah,
all they are.
yeah.
Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Because, yeah, that really helps me too. So I love it. Marcy, did you have something or your hand still up?
Yeah, I did. Um, well, in response to if your brother does something foolish, blah blah blah. I have two things I want. Don't let me forget about the patio set because that'll be the second half. Um, so I see the person that this woman wants to see, and I'm like to actually deal with my inform with my ego, there's a confidentiality issue. Like I wanted him to see my husband and I together, but he's like, well, I can't do that because you're my client. And I was really mad about that. And when I'm thinking about it, I'm not giving away my right to talk to him about this woman that I just have such a rough time with. Like yesterday, I mentioned, sorry, I didn't answer the phone. I had just got a new phone. I'm having trouble learning it. And she said, well, you have trouble learning everything. And I, that's not a, if I'm in my ego, that's not a kind thing to say. It's true. I have trouble learning a lot of new things. But so yeah, I wish her well and I hope she finds somebody. I hope she actually can allow something in that feels uncomfortable, like the word God. You don't have to believe in God to go to a 12-step meeting. And the other thing that just came up in that conversation you had with Cindy is I don't know if you remember this, Lynn, because I don't know if I jumped off the Course in Miracles at this point. Probably did. When I
The
gave-
patio site stuff, yeah. Go
You
on.
got it. You got it. So what I wanted to say to Cindy and everybody else is that whole welcoming issue about why do I have to deal with this? I don't want to deal with this. I'm judging myself. I can't stand myself. If only it was this way. If only I didn't give the patio set away, I wouldn't have had a breakdown over my parents' death because I felt like I gave them away, and I need that patio set back. I mean, I don't know how many years it took me to look at that, clinging to wrought iron furniture that if I really wanted it, I should have fixed it myself, which I didn't because it would have taken so much effort. Or I could have paid $1,000, which it wasn't even worth, to have it repainted, only to have it chip again and rust. I mean, the whole thing turned into an issue about death and
Yeah.
permanence and impermanence. And does it really matter? And did I get something out of that experience, even though my life felt rotten at the time, like for years, and then like other instances would come up where I'm like, oh my God, it's reenacting the patio set. I'm like, yeah, but you know what the patio set's about. So you don't have to go there anymore.
Thank you, Marcy, for
Yes. And if you go there,
the
you
welcome.
might,
Thank you.
yes, you're welcoming it, and you don't
Yeah.
have to stay there forever. It's not
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yes.
And you know what? I felt like an idiot talking about patios. That's all I could talk about for a few years. And I did that in my Course in Miracles class, that we go to every week. And they're like, okay, she's still on the patio set. We're going to work on it with her. There was no judgment in that group. That's how I survived the upset about their death.
Yeah. So yeah, just really bringing a welcoming to this experience, knowing that on the other side of it, there is healing.
Yes. On the other side, there is light. And on this side, there's darkness.
Yeah.
And it's okay if the darkness is there. It's okay if you feel like you can't really deal with whatever it is, because you did today mention something about an issue with, something's going on and it's darkness.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And the darkness will be there in other situations. So why not deal with the darkness now, no matter how you feel? You can always email me or write me or whatever, you call me, whatever. I don't care. I know what that darkness feels like.
Yeah, thank you so much, really. Thank both of you, ladies. Thank you. I forget why I love this group.
Yeah, you don't have to remember that. You just show up, which I mean, Lynn has invited me here for years, and I couldn't take her up on it because I was a failure.
But that's what this course is for.
Right, exactly. But I wouldn't accept that because I was focused on my ego.
Yeah.
Can I say that I didn't hear this whole thing, but I do love the conversation I'm hearing. We all struggle with this. Every one of us, like I too felt like a failure, but I didn't see it because I'm always when I was looking outside, I was seeing all those projections of my thoughts about me that I wasn't picking up. And so where anybody is right now, we've all been there. I don't think that, and there could be other paths, or there could be people that wake up right away. I don't know, but you can't. I talked about it this morning. You don't even have to wake up. You are waking up. The ego, it's just a matter of thinning out.
Yeah.
The ego has to thin out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's undoing.
And
we were talking about disassociation is how I started it out.
That's something I did all my life because I had learning issues. So, I kind of felt like, I won't even raise my hand. I don't want to embarrass myself and let them all know how stupid I am.
I know. So the thing about the past that this part that I memorized, I don't know why I memorized it, but it's a line that he said, forget the past. No, forget the past, it's over. And unless you bring it with you to cast its long, dark shadow upon the present, each instant will be as clear and clean and crisp as the tinkling of a crystal bell. Anyway, I I thought that was so poetic and beautiful that I guess I memorized it. But I thought I'd throw that out because that was the last thing we were reading about was the past, I think.
That was beautiful, Marcy. Thanks. I
Cindy.
mean,
That was
Cindy.
Cindy.
I meant Cindy. I know. I meant Cindy.
That's okay. We're
I
all the
do it all the
same.
time, with myself. Okay.
Yeah. It's again, there's no reason to, think anything other than, the brain doesn't work. The brain doesn't think. We think the brain is doing something. It is not doing anything at all. So
that's good to know.
yeah. And the thing that, and I also wanted to think about this with a little bit because we're all talking about, I'm getting older, my brain is not working right, I bonked my head a zillion times, I had, how many car accidents I had, how many concussions, I've had all this stuff. We have all had all this stuff. And recognizing that that's really not the thing that is operating here. If the Holy Spirit can is capable of making anything clear if we just let it and quit depending on the brain, depending on our memory, depending on our past knowledge. The past is over,
Yeah.
and it has no there is no reality to anything in the past, because it's all a part of the dream. So, if I can't bring to mind some thought that I had, 50 years ago, or the name of a person I knew, or my first grade teacher, or any of those things, who gives a crap? That's not real anyways. The only thing that's really true is, who I am now. I am. This is it. And that's the only thing that's real about anything. So, don't shame yourself or blame yourself or that thing that Rafi sent out. I don't know if y'all got that uh, email from Rafi from yesterday from our meeting, but I guess I had requested that he um, send this out to us, which I'm really grateful for Rafi and his willingness. It's so beautiful. But what he sent to us says, I don't make mistakes, fail, forget, judge, confuse, accuse, suppress, screw up, etc. That's all just false, imaginary ego mind stuff, which isn't the reality of the infinite being I am.
Wow, that's beautiful. But then on the other hand, if I could say this, I think it was Thomas Becket, which helped me through my life was, I guess, as an ego, I guess, and it would be, he famously said, ever to try, ever to fail, no matter, try again, but fail again better. And I think it's kind of saying the same thing, but in a negative notation, maybe.
Yeah, I
Just,
like that.
yeah, that always stuck with me. Just fail again better. I
Yeah.
love it.
Sounds to me like your brain's working pretty good. So, anyway, I have to take a quick break. Will somebody want to read paragraph 4 and you guys can start talking about it?
I can't see the screen that well, otherwise I would.
I
can read it. I can read it.
Can I make one comment while
Sure.
Lynn's doing what she said? I just want, and maybe Lynn, you know where this is, or Dove, I don't know if Dove is still on. I don't have my screen all totally open. But the quote I thought of is the little line I remember. Part of it is "Come with holy empty hands," and that's the welcoming.
Yeah, that's
I don't know what anything is for. Help me. I just don't know what to do.
yeah, that's lesson 189.
And that
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
trust, just trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so what am I reading? On 4, true empathy is of him.
I'm not sure.
Yes.
Okay, I'll read that while you take a break, Lynn. True empathy is of him who knows what it is. You will learn his interpretation of it if you let him Use your capacity for strength and not for weakness. He will not desert you, but be sure that you desert not him. Humility is strength in the sense only that to recognize and accept the fact that you do not know is to recognize and accept the fact that he does know. You are not sure he will do his part because you have never yet done yours completely. You cannot, it's all for you, Cindy.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
cannot know
I
how
good.
to, how to respond to what you do not understand. Be tempted not in this, and yield not to the ego's triumphant use of empathy for its glory.
Wow.
So he's saying, I'm always here. Come with holy empty hands. Don't judge yourself. There is no judgment for who you truly are.
And that is to me, it's like emptying my mind of all these silly, fearful thoughts. You know, the ego is so sticky,
Uh,
and it feels like if I fight, if I fight it, I'm like pulling against this goo that's, it's effort, and it's not working. I'm not letting go because I'm stuck to the thoughts of the ego.
you're not, I mean, I'm saying the same thing about
Yeah.
myself. I am holding my own hand. I'm not holding Jesus's hand when I do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
He says, hold my hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I sure do forget that.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I get more satisfaction from the ego, which I obviously don't. You know?
Yeah. I was just tripping on how I really just let go during all this conversation and dropped into my innocence. And I'm like, doesn't it feel better, Cindy, to come from this place of innocence and trusting and openness, and willingness to share and trust, these brothers that are here, you guys, and of course it does, and it's really a matter of just deciding to do so, deciding with Jesus, deciding to love, deciding to be who I really am.
Now, you know what the sneaky thing is?
No or yes?
The ego goes from suspicious to vicious. So you'll feel that now. And at some point, maybe this day, another day, 5 minutes from now, the ego will jump in and go, I can't let this happen.
Yeah.
I'm not letting her hold Jesus' hand. No, 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 no. I'll put up another distraction,
Yeah.
and that's just how it is.
Yeah. It never will go away. So
Yeah, until you don't hold your own hand.
But to be in this world, we do have to have an ego. So it never will. Or maybe,
Well,
am I wrong? Maybe I'm
well,
wrong.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know Jesus, but my interpretation of Jesus from the Course is different.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and people
But
would question me. I mean, if they're not a Course in Miracles student, it's like, what? Or they're not into religion. It's like, what?
yeah.
I just came back and I heard that you say that. That's absolutely the crux of all of this. The question that you asked Cindy and the answer, because Jesus, according to everything that I can dredge up from reading the course, um, Jesus did not experience himself as an ego once he had whatever the awakening experience he had. So he um, maybe he basically says that he was projecting the body uh, consciously projecting the body. So he was not in the body or of the body. It was just uh, an illusion. It is illusion that he was projecting so that he could speak to other people, speak to other, it's in the clarification of terms,
Uh-huh.
which I always talk about because, excuse me, that's where I came to understand that, why he was not in, why he didn't suffer during the crucifixion and all that business, why he was able to, you know, re reform another body, basically, because he tells us that not one instant does the body actually exist.
Yeah.
So the bodies that we're experiencing now only exist in the instant we project them. They're not existing all the time. They only exist while we're aware of them,
Oh,
when we're projecting them. And so
the
for
Saragatas pretty much said the same thing, huh?
exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
So and a lot of other um,
Mass.
uh, f- have said the same thing. So and once I understood that, then when I started looking through the course and recognizing he really is pointing at this. I'm manufacturing this body at this very moment. I'm manufacturing this voice, everything. I'm projecting all of it. It's all a projection. None of it is real. It's a character on the screen that I
Oh,
am identifying with, thinking that I am that. But
that's
it's
right.
just a projection. It's not what I am.
That's right.
So
Get
yeah,
that.
I mean, I heard one teacher say, he went into a trance and that's why he didn't feel pain during the crucifixion. He was not in a trance. He was in reality and the body didn't even exist. So that whole thing was just a story that is made up to indicate something to me about about my reality so that I could um, find that out for myself,
Yeah.
that that's the truth about what I am.
Yeah.
But if I think, yeah,
I like the way Keith explains it. It made sense to me, and so all day, the last 2 days, I've been reminding myself that when that I'm not the character. I did, the one character that's thinking all of this. I am just part of the one consciousness, or I am the one consciousness dreaming this, and that's a hard for me. That's a challenging concept to uh, contain and understand and live by. But I have been practicing that. But as you can see, today I had completely forgot about that. Anyway, yeah, being vigilant for the kingdom is very important.
yeah. So since I was out of the room, what do we get from this paragraph? Is that what we're talking about? Um,
I'm not sure.
well, I'm reading a little bit of it, and it's kind of what we were just reading about Bill Thetford. Um, that if we that they were it was saying in the urtext that or Helen's notes or whatever, that if he could use his his power, his capacity and strength as a speaker, linguist, whatever, to make jokes, that it could be used he could still make the same jokes, or he could still make jokes, but they would be used to strengthen rather than weaken. Um, so that's the difference. If we allow the Holy Spirit to be in charge, then we'll have uh uh we will be better at whatever it is that we do. Whatever it is that we're doing, we'll be better at it. But as long as we allow him to do it, allow him to do it for us. And I like that he's talking about humility. Humility is strength in this sense only, that to recognize and accept the fact that you do not know is to recognize and accept the fact that he does know. So, that's why I need do nothing. I don't know. I don't know what anything is for. There's so many indications throughout the course that, the ego can know nothing. It is a know nothing ego. It can't operate um, in the same realm as the spirit because it's completely clueless. It doesn't. It's just a machine, basically. It's like, okay, so we talk about AI. Everybody's so excited about AI. What is AI really? AI is basically a relational database that will go out and look for anything that references what it is that you're asking about, or anything that it basically puts things together. It puts things together in a way that make it seem like one coherent story or one coherent thing. But really, it's only just acting on what we've already put into it. There's nothing that you can put into a computer program that the computer will suddenly make up its own story. It only makes up stories based on what you've told it. And that's the way the ego is. It's only making up stories based on what we tell it. So the story that it has about, what I can do in the world, what I can't do in the world, how I am, how I feel, what my body is, all that those are all stories that we tell the ego, or the ego tells us, and we believe about ourselves. We think that it is us. And Jesus is telling us, just stop doing that. Just stop doing that and say, I don't know. I don't know what this is for. I don't know what this is. I don't know what anything is. I don't know. And from that I don't know place, it will be done for us. It will be given to us. It will be shown to us. And that's why, Cindy, I'm thinking, I don't know, what is happening with that, RV is the best place to be, because then you open yourself up for the real answer that spirit has for you, and not the made up answer that the ego is coming up with. And so I think,
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah.
yeah,
I get that. Yeah.
yeah,
Both
because you think you do know, right?
exactly. Both you and Marcy pointed that out very well. Thank you. I, I really do appreciate it. Really.
Well, it's for me too. So, no,
All
it's,
right. You can have some of it. No, I'm kidding.
thank you. 'Cause, I mean,
All
this
about
is
me, isn't it? Oh my God.
I think this is just so important right now. Just in it, and how sweetly he says to us, you cannot know how to respond to what you don't understand. Be tempted not in this, and yield not to the ego's triumphant use of empathy for its glory. So, don't let the ego uh, make you think it's the hero.
Yeah, take yourself off the hook. You're off the hook.
It's protecting you by keeping you from setting yourself up for disappointment.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Lot there, right?
yeah,
Wow. Wow.
yeah. Marcy, go ahead, my dear.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that one of the things that's helped me is, Keith, he said it on the group as well. He had anxiety about whatever, it doesn't matter, just that experience of anxiety where you just feel like there's no way you're going to function. And that's another thing that I've decided to welcome. So I'm not pushing the ego out just yet, but I want to say, oh, I'm feeling anxious. What's going on? How did I make that switch? Because I felt so close to the love 10 seconds ago. And that's been because the ego gets suspicious and goes to vicious. But I still welcome that opportunity to go, I feel like shit right now. What the heck is going, what is that? Who am I accusing? I mean, it's all about myself anyways, but that, don't skip steps.
Yeah.
Let yourself feel it and wonder, what can I do? Do I want to sit and feel this for a while? I might. Is it, you can't make all the decisions, you just get to experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the morning, my headliner should be whatever, like welcome. That's the oversees everything today is that word welcome.
Yeah. And it's hard to do sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. But it is doable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And obviously, Jesus has full confidence that we can do it. Because why? He says, I was there before too. I was a man like you. I had these thoughts and ideas, and I learned to see this differently. And I know you can too, because we are not different. You and I are the same. How many times does Jesus tell us in the course that
Yeah.
he is just like us? We're just like him. Uh,
And that's the same thing as he's saying, take my hand.
yeah,
Join me. Join me. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Thank you guys.
yeah, I love it. I love it. So beautiful. Um,
Yeah.
oh, hi, Auntie. Good morning. I didn't see her come in the room. Me going. All right. Does anybody else have anything to share or to say? This is so rich for me. I love it.
No, I'm good.
All right.
Just taking it all in.
Yeah. So let's just look at paragraph 5. We have about 7 minutes, and since Ozzy's here, Wayne was asking about you yesterday if I'd heard from you. So I'm well, we're all here now. So Wayne will be coming along soon, I'm sure. All right. So who would like to read paragraph 5?
I'll do it.
Thank you.
The triumph of weakness is not what you would offer to a brother, and yet you recognize no triumph but this. This is not knowledge, and the form of empathy which would bring this about is so distorted that it would imprison what it would release. The unredeemed cannot redeem, yet they have a redeemer. Attempt to teach him not. You are the learner, he is the teacher. Do not confuse your role with his, for this will never bring peace to anyone. Offer your empathy to him, for it is his perception and his strength that you would share. And let him offer you his strength and his perception to be shared through you.
Well, for me, that's like, well, there it is. It's just realizing my role, my place in this process, that I am the learner, and not forgetting that, and then offering that which I think I know to him to be taught and corrected, and be humble about it all.
Yeah. Thank you, Cindy. Yes. And let's see. Marcy has her hand up. Go ahead, Marcy. You're muted.
I just wanted to mention to Cindy that it's the same for all of us, because I never thought I could remember anything in the course. I never thought I would be able to talk about the darkness. And at some point, you will be able to do the same. And maybe you already have. It's just that, each darkness for each person seems so special. that nobody, how is anybody going to understand? Well, it's all the same for all of us.
Yeah. No, I feel much lighter
Good.
right
Good
now
to hear.
for sharing.
And I think we're doing this very thing that Jesus is talking about here, because we're hearing stories of each other's, how I fell, how I gave away the patio set, how I lost the RV, how I lost me, how everything was lost, and we're not sitting here going, oh, you poor thing, I feel so bad for you, and this is sad. We're holding up each other's strength here, and we're helping each other to see that that there's only one thing that's worth holding on to. There's only one thing that's worth keeping, and all of these other things that seem to be so important, and whether it's a physical thing, whether it's a, a family member, a child, a lover, a brother, a job, a political, whatever it is, these things that that we tend to take so seriously and think have to do with our own self-worth, making us feel worthy. Um, we're talking about these things and looking at them and recognizing that they have no meaning. And because we're joined together in this, then we are actually practicing the true empathy that Jesus is talking about here, where
Well,
we're not practicing the false empathy of saying, yep, you poor thing, you really, something bad happened to you. We're practicing the true empathy of saying, we have everything. And Jesus or the Holy Spirit or whomever that's within each and every one of us will pull us all up together. And this is right-minded thinking, as far as I can tell. So
what
um,
we hold on to are in the darkness. They're like wounds that we keep bandaged and hidden from the light, and we have to. The healing comes from taking off the bandage and exposing it into the light, into the sun, into the warmth, and that's where the healing comes from. And so, talking about it, that's what we're doing. We're exposing our wounds to the light, to the light of God, to of truth, and that's where that's just a way I see it.
exactly. And if we don't bring them up and look at them,
That's true.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're just lost. So I love that.
It's
Any-
like that song. I'm sorry, I'm talking
That's
wrong.
okay.
That song, "The Rose," at the last verse, about I can't remember the seed of the rose is beneath the snow, needs the sun's love to make it grow, or something like that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
exactly.
we need the sun, SONS, love, not to put a pun on it, but we need the teaching of Jesus. I mean, I do to. I mean, that's the path I've chose, was to learning to Jesus, and it's his undying. It's just a love I can't comprehend, to to teach us, to say, hey, let me guide you. I get overwhelmed thinking about that we possess that same ability to love, and yet we're so afraid of it. At least I am.
Yeah. Well, ego is afraid of it
Yeah.
because it means the end. The ego can't survive in the light.
Right. Right. But it is still mind-boggling that we would give up such freedom and a sense of well-being for these ridiculous stories we tell ourselves, that and live our lives by. The ego's uh, thoughts, narrative. I guess the ego's narrative of our existence.
Yeah.
Anyway, got me on a sentimental day, you guys.
Hey, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, well my ego's not gonna let me, I just noticed that. Never mind.
yeah. All right. So well, guess what, guys? Is our time up here? Yes, it is. Or is it 22? No, it's our time is up. So I'm going to go ahead and thanks you guys so much. This has been so much fun and so wonderful. And I'm just so grateful for all of us being here and joining in this beautiful place to share.